731 Tree Country 1330 WTRE. Good morning, Mayor Marsh.
Hey, good morning, Emily, and happy Thursday to everyone.
That's right. It's Friday Eve.
That's right.
Tomorrow's the first day of spring.
Is it?
It is. The
Well,
groundhog, he did whatever he does, but tomorrow's it.
Okay, we'll count it.
We'll count it. That's right.
That's right. Well, good. And I think we're going to have good weather this weekend, so hopefully everybody will be able to get out and about. I saw my neighbor mowed their lawn.
Really?
Early this week. I think it was Monday after work.
Oh,
So,
that's it.
'tis the season.
Tis the season. It has kicked off. Here it is.
I guess. Somebody had to be first, I guess. If anybody's got earlier than Monday that they mowed the lawn, well, maybe you win. But there's no award. But maybe an opportunity.
Do you feel like that starts a competition in your neighborhood? Like, oh, he mowed, so.
No, I don't think so. I don't
No?
know that we're quite there yet.
Oh, okay.
Like, I feel like it's not mow time quite yet. But
Right.
since tomorrow's the first day of spring, we'll be ready to go.
That's right.
It's about time.
It is about time. It's greening up, and we have daylight at night in the evening now, but we're getting it back again in the mornings.
We saved daylight.
We did save daylight.
Way to go, team. That's right.
It was successful. It happened. Saturday, good day for recycling.
Oh, yeah. The
Shred
Day was out at the fairgrounds, and Decatur County Recycling oversees that. You know, this is one of those programs that they're going to bring in-house with their permanent recycling center. So, like, these kinds of, like, one-off days will probably go away at the end of the year when the center's online. So next year, people will be able to just bring electronics and or shred materials to them as a ongoing rolling basis versus having to have certain days, and then especially on weekends, because sometimes that works for folks and sometimes that doesn't. So this is a service that will continue to be offered. It will just be offered in a different capacity when the center comes online.
And you don't have to save up. I mean, that becomes an issue.
Yes, some individuals, had one printer that they wanted to get rid of, or some of those little batteries, which I'm pretty confident you can actually just get rid of in the trash now. But some folks want to do that. And then when there were some individuals that had like multiple things, or even like trailers of things, which is something you more traditionally see on Toxaway days than electronic recycle days. But that's all good. It's all the same. That's what it's there for. It's for Decatur County residents to dispose of those items properly. Lots of flat screen TVs, as we all know. I'm sure we've all broken one at some point in time. If you look at them wrong a little bit, sometimes they crack. So unfortunately, while they are much more affordable than they used to be, they don't hold up very well either.
They do not have long life.
No. So that was good. And then you were out there with the Decatur County Free Healthcare Clinic.
Yeah, we were.
Raising some funds. I don't know if you had a number.
We raised just about $700 in 2 hours. So we're very thankful for that, and everybody that came through and gave a donation and got to spread the word about the clinic. So
that's the great part that I think Stephanie and the solid waste team does with getting some exposure to a nonprofit. Of course, Solid Waste District is a Decatur County tax funded. It's a separate line item. If you look on your tax bill, property tax bill, it is a standalone organization. So these events are already paid for through that fund. But the support for a local nonprofit that changes each session is free will. It's not a must donate $5, but people really do support the organizations that come out and help out. And there's a different one each time there is one of these events. So
there are, I know, Meals on Wheels and New Directions and several others as it goes through the.
I think like the Friends of the Animal Shelter has been one before. So yeah, it definitely helps raise some dollars.
Yeah, we were very thankful for that, and we'll put that money to good use.
Yeah, so that was the big part of Saturday morning, and then of course the regional game that South Decatur unfortunately did not come away victorious from down at Seymour, but that was there was a pretty good turnout there for South Decatur, and it was a good game. They just didn't quite have it with Hauser had a really amazing 3-point conversion rates, I think.
They did. And Hauser just a little bigger and just outplayed this go round. So, but yeah. South Decatur had a great season, and we're proud of them, and they made it to regional. So
yeah, and that's something to be excited about as well, and maybe they can do better next year.
That's right. You had the chance yesterday to travel up to Purdue.
Yes. Sometimes as an IU guy, that it's always good to go visit. It's great to leave. So the Purdue campus this week is hosting the statewide road school. It's put on by the local agency side of INDOT, and it's actually something that they're required to do, I think, as part of their charter for a state agency, is to provide this educational opportunity. So it's at Purdue every year, and it's usually really well attended. I think that about 3,500 individuals at it this year. It ranges from consultants and engineers all the way through street commissioners and teammates and staff, some elected officials, although not a terribly a ton. It's more operations and technology based in street and road work. But counties, cities, towns, everybody in between, state, are all there. And we were awarded, our community was awarded an award, and an individual in our community was awarded an award as well. So the first one was the Public Works Association, the American Public Works Association Indiana Chapters Project of the Year that was under $5 million. And so we applied for that for our Washington Street / Franklin Street project in our downtown, revitalization efforts, infrastructure improvements, pedestrian, the design work that was recognized for including pedestrian safety, vehicular safety, storefront access, all of those things that happened over the last 2 years, although technically it was for Washington Street, but for the whole project downtown. We won the Indiana Chapters State Project of the Year.
Which is very exciting.
Which is great. It shows great commitment from our design team to do great work, which is HWC. The contractor was awarded or recognized as well, so Schutte Excavating, for the work that they did to help keep everything moving and getting it done and doing a great quality of work for it. So we're very, very excited. And if we remember back last year, we actually won the Indiana Pavement Association award for the pavement work that the contractor, which was O'Mara, did. And so that project is, I guess you could now say, a multi-award winning
That's right,
project.
multi. It rewards the entire team that's put effort into making that project what it is.
Yeah, and I hope that the community sees, I understand that sometimes it was a little frustrating in that it was kind of big and took up a lot of space, but it's good to go now for decades, right? Short-term pain, long-term gain, but also that when we do something, we're trying to do it to the high standard of not only ours, but even on the state level. It doesn't have to be $500 million to win an award. And not that it's about winning awards, but showing that our team did a great job, that the community is getting a world-class product, and that we're doing what we need to do to make the investments last, but then also to a standard that other people recognize and want to support us for doing. So our community should be very, very proud of that. Not only do we have a great downtown and a great historic downtown, but when you do something right and it's recognized, it feels really good for the team and for the community to receive that. So.
In addition, you had an individual that won an award yesterday as well.
We did. So our street commissioner, Mark Cluster-Camper, has been with us for a very long time, and he was awarded the American Association of Public Works Director in Indiana Chapter Director of the Year, and so he won the statewide award for his dedication to our agency, to our community, to his team, and just being an all-around great member of the public works sector. And we're very, very proud of him and are excited to see him get recognized for that. I think he's been with us 18 years.
Okay.
Something like There's
some longevity.
It's been a long time, and we're excited for him and the work that he does with our team, and glad to see him get recognized for that.
That was something he did not know about.
That's right. Yeah, I surprised him with that. I drug him along for the street award, and then we surprised him with that. And his award looks like an Oscar, honestly. Like, it's
really?
This tall gold guy that stands on a wood box.
Fancy.
And so he already got a name of Oscar, and we're super proud of Mark. And so Lewis Moore, who's our assistant street commissioner, and Zach, we're director of public projects, we're already at road school. So they came over and joined us for it was a breakfast type award ceremony yesterday morning, bright and early. And then Ron May, our former city engineer who helped on the downtown project and obviously a long-term friend of Mark's and former colleague, was able to join us for that as well. So we had a good group that came up to support Mark and his award for that. And even though Mark didn't know his award for that was coming, but that's okay.
That's right. Well, congratulations to him. That's an exciting thing.
We're excited. And again, a great opportunity to recognize somebody locally who's doing work that is recognized, statewide as being top tier and top talent. And we're very fortunate to have him in our community. And he does a lot that a lot of people don't realize and recognize, and is always willing to help. So we're very proud of that.
Very good. So that was at Purdue, and you survived.
I did.
An IU alum.
Okay.
You survived.
We made it.
You made
I
it.
even picked them to go pretty far in the basketball tournament.
Did you?
Yeah.
Look at you.
I don't know that I got them all the way to the Final Four, but I think Sweet 16. So,
Sweet 16.
Yeah.
I feel Sweet 16 at least.
Yeah. I just randomly click buttons, and that's where they. No, I'm just kidding.
That's where it ends
That's
up.
where we put them. Yes. So we'll see. Always rooting for the Indiana schools, where it doesn't matter where it is. Got to root for the Indiana schools.
That's right. Coming up this weekend, Zaxby's will be officially cutting their ribbon.
Yeah, if you haven't been out there yet, and that's half my problem. I've been there once. It was very early. They were still working to get it figured out. So I need to get back. Saturday is the opening day. I did have a meeting about a week ago, where they had catered in a lunch, and it was from Zaxby's, and it was very good. They had brought in a grilled chicken salad and some of their tenders with 55 different sauce options. And I did not realize this. Do you know that they have egg rolls?
Yeah, so I too had a catered lunch, separate places. Monday, I believe it was. I had a catered lunch from them as well. And yeah, they had egg rolls. We were all in shock. Had no idea.
They were great.
That's what I heard. I did not have one. I was having chicken strips, but I heard that they were really good.
Yeah, maybe, I've had Zaxby's multiple times in my life, just different places, but I never even knew that egg rolls were on the menu. Guess I never looked. And then I don't know that I would have ever ordered egg rolls, but I actually might encourage you to go try them because they were pretty good.
It's branching out, right?
That's right.
Trying new things.
Yeah,
I was impressed with their sauce selection.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot.
It is. And so Saturday morning, I believe it's at 10 o'clock, the Chamber of Commerce is going to cut the red ribbon for them on the location here. Encourage you to come on out, check it out, probably meet the team. I've not yet met their team, but looking forward to it. They seem to be really busy, and the discussion about all of that middle road traffic flowing in and out, and then Greenview, which is over by Ford and Lincoln. Ford there at Lincoln Street. Mm-hmm. That's kind of an odd thing to say in a row, but it's going to require a little bit of patience. Freeland Road, which maybe we'll get to in a minute about construction work. I don't have a timeline yet, but the ribbon cutting for Zaxby's is Saturday, and come on out, and I'm sure they'll be doing some open house stuff that you could probably participate in, take a look at. It is a very tight site. It is that's their smallest footprint that they offer, which I think has 30 interior seats. But of course, the drive-through is a big part of the business model these days, and seems like they're doing very well. It seems like they've stayed plenty busy.
You just have to, when you're out there, you just have to pay attention as you're driving. I think that is the biggest thing that anyone can be stressed, because it just gets a little congested, which is no big deal.
Yep.
But you got to pay attention.
That's right. So, come out and join us. It'll be a good opportunity. If nothing else, you can get lunch out of it. While
we're on that side of town, let's just talk about Freeland Road.
Yeah, so we did award some CCMG. We talked about that last week at our city council meeting. So O'Mara Contractors is going to do about half of that. They're going to do the actual pavement mill and fill component of that. And then another contractor is going to do the sort of micro surface, which is like the coating on top, gravel, like fine aggregate press in. That is the pavement preservation, right, for those middle range streets. Mill and fill are for the streets that are on the lower end of the PASER rating. And Freeland Road is going to be done. O'Mara's is the contractor for that too. So we do not have a date on it yet, but everybody's well aware that O'Mara is going to start some concrete work out on the other CCMG stuff. Asphalt plants probably won't open until mid-April, so nothing quickly coming out of that yet, but it's on the list, it's on the agenda. The team's going to be in, which helps us, the reason the contractor matters is like they're already going to be in town. They've got 2 projects in town now, so that makes the mob demob of equipment and teams more likely to happen in a more expeditious manner. So we're pretty happy about that.
Was it last year we had to wait on the paver? Was that the one that took a while?
It was the milling machine.
Milling.
Yeah, we
Okay.
couldn't get a milling machine, and that's a subcontract. O'Mara, I don't think, does hardly any of their own milling. That's CH Hughes usually does that for us. And the milling staff was hard to come by. I think they had a little bit of a staff issue, and they couldn't get enough people to run them. And then, of course, you got to line up the dump trucks to run with that machine, which are all subcontractors to the subcontractor, and then we get it done. But
That's
yes,
right.
so hopefully this year that won't be as much of a problem.
He's smooth sailing, smooth paving,
Yes.
right? Road work, yes.
And if you've been out on I-74 in the last 2 days, you've noticed that there have been orange barrels that have gone up between here and St. Paul for the bridge work.
Barrels everywhere.
There's a lot of barrels out there. And they've put up some fence along the interchange there near Walmart and Highway 3. So hopefully, what I've been told is that the issue with the ramp, the entrance ramp to I-74 westbound, is on their high priority fix first when the contractor arrives on site. Now, whether that's true or not, you and I will find out together. But we'll see.
I have high hopes.
I hope so. Yeah.
We will see.
Me too.
And that's part of that 3-year project.
That's a 3-year project, yeah. So once they get started, we probably won't chat about it much more because we'll check about it every week for 3 years, and then nobody would listen because it'd be like a broken record. But one of the other things that is coming, just to keep everybody, if you didn't hear us talk about it last week's 421 South, they are going to close that sometime. I'm sure one day the signs will just show up and it will be closed so that they can reconstruct the bridge there at the bottom near Heritage Hill and the Dollar General and 5 Points. So just be aware and attentive of that. And then 421 is going to remain closed in some capacity between us and Napoleon for probably about 6 to 8 months. So
That's a state project, right?
State of Indiana project, yep. We've made them aware that there's potholes developing again in East Main Street. Drive it all the time. We're aware. We've made them aware. The storm sewer and sewer castings are also, they've had a hard winter. They're in bad shape, but we're working with them on it, so we'll see where we get with that.
We wait and see,
That's
right? That's
exactly.
what happens. What else you got going on?
Well, so while it has been busy, those have been some of the big things. Lots of internal stuff that's happening that most people don't really worry about or need to know too much about. We're just getting ready for the spring and summer session. As, of course, we talked about infrastructure work. The farmers market will be coming back. Allie Beck with Main Street was talking about that mid-May, I believe. And then they are going to do 3 Fourth Friday events this year, which is great. Glad to see those coming back. They're going to have some later hours. There's downtown partnerships with the brick and mortar stores that call downtown home. So please keep up with what's happening on the Main Street front. They've been doing really great work and working towards regaining some footing in the farmers market world after the construction projects over the last 2 years. So they've been great partners of ours. They've been very helpful, attentive, and willing to move around based on what streetscape work is going on with Franklin Street and then Washington Street, all the parking impacts and traffic flow impacts. And so this year they're back to full bore and ready to go.
Back to normal.
It will be here before we know it. Of course, the fair's coming, which is unbelievably hard to believe.
Quickly.
I know, yeah. We will probably in mid-April, if not earlier, announce our community night outs. We're going to do 3 of those we're going to do 2 or 3 in communities, plus the night out, plus the fair, plus the fall festival. So we kind of chalk that up as 6. And so we're going through picking locations. We had one of them that got rained out last year, and we just kind of don't reschedule them because it's kind of hard to get everybody notified. And
it's a lot at once to pull together.
Yeah, so we try to have them if the weather's decent enough to go out and spend on the street. You know, it's not something we can move inside. And so we'll be back in that area for sure this year. And then we've got a couple more that we're adding, just in different spots.
You guys try to move, you try to not repeat the areas you've been?
Yeah, good news. That's getting harder to do because we've been a lot of places. We spread them out. We do look at, where kids are. We do look at social economics and trying to be sure that we are in communities of all different areas. And then we also look at where we've been most successful based on the times of year. So, once school's out, that becomes maybe more important somewhere else in our community. And then, of course, we do a night at the fair, kind of a public safety blitz, if you will. And then the fall festival we're at every weekend. So the departments, fire and police, do a really good job of, in theory, one time a month, we're at one of these events out in our community. We usually shoot for about 100 folks to join us in the non-national night out ones. So that will be coming in August. That's that date. I do know that one because that one's, you got to start planning that far in advance. And I think we're going to be on August 20th. So that will be the third Thursday in August. That gets everybody back in school and ready to go.
Very good.
So, yeah.
We'll look forward to those dates and locations. You have some BOTs out.
Yeah, so that's digging deep here for the build, operate, transfers, which is just our procurement method that we're using to align contractor work with available funding. We've been talking about our downtown, sort of, I guess we could call it phase 3, much, much, much less impactful. We're going to look at some drainage and alley work south of downtown to make some improvements there. We have out on the street the build, operate, transfer agreement, so contractors can build, operate, transfer providers, which then hire contractors can put in on that. So that project is out and should be coming back to us by our April meeting. That's a ready funded project, so that's great. We're continuing to parlay grant dollars into our downtown, and then we may do some additional stormwater work while we're in there with the contractor, which is also a good thing to do. We don't have any groundbreaking dates for the apartments that are happening on the old jail lot, but the next round of environmental documents, because it's so close to the train tracks, we needed to be sure that all of that was done. The lot that the city sold them behind the Martin Overhead Door place is transferred or will be transferred because that environmental also passed, which is great. We all know there was a building there previously, so all that's been done. We have a build, operate, transfer agreement out on the street for some work at the wastewater plant. So our clarifiers number 1 and 2, which I think they told me were built in the 50s. So if you think about that, they're really old.
Yeah.
We've replaced the guts in them before, but it's time to replace the guts, all the stuff that's inside the concrete tank. So there's sort of like this big bridge apparatus. There's like a spin, like a scraper, and these weir walls that go in that work to clean out the water, as we all imagine, and that needs to be replaced. So we are working through a project on that. We estimate that project just for the interior workings of the tanks. We're leaving the tanks. They're in good enough shape. We're just making investments inside them to be about $1 million.
Oh, wow.
So big project that...
but a long life associated with that, typically.
Yeah. Probably more than 20 years, but probably a 20-year part. And that's, everything in that industry is super expensive, just like it is when we do water, those kinds of things. And then wastewater, but a harsh environment as well. A lot of chemicals, a lot of acids, a lot of things like that in that environment. But yeah, probably $1 million on that one. And it was on our capital improvement plan as well, but also we've got some dollars available to help fund that. So we're going to work through that project and process. I know they would like to get it done right now, but I'm hopeful maybe by the end of the year. We've got to get them ordered, right? Like part of this process is to order them. So we need to do it in one of the drier seasons because we have 4 of these. We have 4 clarifiers. We need to take 2 of them out of service. We'll probably take 1 out of service at a time, which makes the project go a little bit longer. But if we have an issue, we need to be able to have the capacity to do the other ones. So we'll see what our timing looks like on that.
All right, very good. As we move into spring, grass is greening up like we talked about. What do you, as we have the walk at the library, we have all of these fun things happening. So as you look across the city for spring? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, well, obviously everybody getting out and about helps a lot. The farmers market's always a good turning point. We are going to start the process of taking down the snowflake banners, so we can move past snow. When I was talking to Mark yesterday, he said, I'm ready to take down the banners so that it's no longer allowed to snow. And
I
said,
love that idea.
Actually, if that were the case, I'll just order us some with sunshine,
Yeah,
and
perfect.
we'll just leave them up all year.
70 and sunny.
I just don't think those control the weather. And if they do, that's an amazing thing that we need to know more about. But yeah, we'll get those taken down. I agree with you. There's always more events that are happening. The summer concert series is coming back this year out at the park, so that's always a great event. I'm just glad to see folks getting out and about. The first 70-degree day we had a couple weeks ago when I drove home from work, it was it was that Mayberry moment. Everybody's out on the street. Everybody's got their dog. Kids are playing basketball. Everybody's sitting on their porch. Like, it was just unbelievably nice to see life return,
yes.
To the street after 8 weeks of the tundra. So I always look forward to the events and what's going on across the community, the market, the concerts, and kids getting sports seasons out of the way and school getting out, and it'll be here before we know it. So I don't know that I have something, and I do like seeing some infrastructure work happen. We spend a lot of time talking about those things, getting them in places, finding the money, funding the money to do improvements and work. As you're thinking about your home improvement work this summer, we do still have the sidewalk matching grant program. So if you want to replace your public sidewalk, publicly accessible sidewalk, there's in theory about a 50-50 match. So if you apply for that, you have to do it before you do the work. There's inspection requirements, certain areas that you need to be attentive to. You can actually get reimbursed from some of those costs. And then if you want to do work on your private property, including your private sidewalk, that would fall under a curb appeal grant. Same thing, it has a reimbursement capacity, it has an inspection capacity, etc. But it doesn't have to just necessarily be for concrete work. It can be for paint and windows and shutters and things that are permanently affixed to your property. So we don't buy flowers, we don't buy patio furniture, but if you think about lighting and things like that, it's a great way to recoup some dollars and help your block, your property value, your block. And then the best part, I think, is if you go in with your neighbors and you have adjoining property owners that are going in together, you each can receive a higher number of dollars. So there's an incentive to work with your neighbors so that it's not just one off on your property, but if 2 or 3 of you get together, each of you can get a few more dollars to put towards those projects. So if you're thinking about summer, spring projects, keep that in mind. All that information is available on our website, or if you'd like to know more, you can contact the Building and Planning Office and they'll walk you through that process.
It's a great little bonus here in the city.
It is. We've been doing it for 3 or 4 years now. Very appreciative of the City Council continuing to fund it. It has been taken advantage of some, but we don't have unlimited amounts of money. It is first come, first serve, or first completed, first approved, first all the above. But we've not run out yet every year. But if it becomes really popular, it could. So
get to it.
Yeah.
Spring is here.
That's right. It's a good opportunity. Maybe give you a little bit extra incentive to get out there and do something good for the properties in the neighborhood and everybody else.
That's right. Well, and it always helps when there's a little financial relief in there. So,
yeah.
Very good. Anything else this week, Mayor Marsh?
I don't think so. If we don't see you at the ribbon cutting, then we'll chat next Thursday, if not before.
All right. Sounds good. Again, spring tomorrow. We're ready.
Great.
Here
Can't
it goes.
wait.
Get those snowflake banners down.
That's right. Everyone have a great weekend.
It's 8 o'clock here on Tree Country.